They called it as Bari Sahib. So when that chief jailer, that jailer, he was actually very happy. Why? Because the prisoner, what was there, that was having degree, not given, but barrister level person is coming as a prisoner. Whereas he said that I feel very pity towards you. Now you have to stay here for 50 years in Andaman. Yeah. But this fellow replied immediately, I also feel pity towards you. Why? Because your British Empire will not last for 50 years. Prior to that only we will get freedom and I will be get rescued from this jail. This is called as confidence. And many more things are there in these dialogues. You can read through this book. Anyway, but he was tortured there because some work was actually this jail that is called as cellular jail in a small tiny room that is 8 feet by 6 feet. Window, yeah, at top. Small window is there just to get little bit light and air. That's all. In that small cell, person is kept without any human contact. No fan, no light, nothing. And obviously, in today's day we can say cell phone, books, nothing. You have to sit there. Like that, first psychological torture. Then onwards work was given. That is to prepare a rope. Then because of that your hands will not get in good condition. Then get oil from manual mill. Actually bullocks were used to extract oil at that time because no electricity was there. But instead of that, instead of bullocks, they were using man. Particularly very few prisoners, they were tortured by this method, and then that is called as kolu. So we have to use that kolu. You have to extract some 160 pound oil. Then only you will get food and sleep. Otherwise continue the work. And like that he was tortured there. He was arguing that what was the standard. According to that standard, Andaman, they were keeping in jail. A person was kept in jail for 5 years first. Then onwards, the person was released on the island. Some land is allocated to him and he should stay outside but not leave Andaman. So you have to stay in Andaman but not allowed to go because Andaman is island. So without permission, and at that time aeroplanes were not installed. And so without permission, nobody can escape from the port. Therefore, his demands that he spend first 5 years this way. Even you will not get enough water and all that. That conditions are mentioned. I am not going in the detail. However, he carried out lot of social work in the jail. So, first, he started fight against casteism in the jail. That at that time there was severe problem of untouchability. He tried to eliminate that. Then problems between two communities, particularly Hindu and Muslim communities. He encouraged Hindus in such a way that Hindus will get respect at that time. So like that, various things he carried out in the jail. He was allowed to write one letter per year to his family member only. One letter per year to his family member. And his family members should write only one letter to him once in a year. Like that situation was there in the jail. And he wrote books. You can imagine, no writing tool, nothing. But he used the wall of jail as a paper. And with screw, he was able to make the poetry named as Kamla. He by-hearted that poetry. And then one prisoner was about to leave. He asked him to by-heart that entire poetry and then poetry was published in India in name of Savarkar. British reports are there that Savarkar is in contact with his armed revolutionists. How? We don't know. But he is in contact with his armed revolutionists at that time. So no doubt he was categorized as VVD. He was not supposed to do anything, but okay. His elder brother was also there in the jail. But throughout the period of punishment, twice or thrice only they were able to meet. That's all. So this way isolation was kept, and yet they were in the communication. What was that communication? Now he was taken to Andaman in 1910. World War began in 1914. By that time, there was incident of Kamagata Maru, a Japanese ship. That ship was about to land in USA or Canada, somewhere there, but the government didn't allow. It was having various workers at that time. We can consider as, at that time it was considered as illegal migration. But the respective governments, the government of Japan, government of China, stood behind their people at that time. Whereas Indian government was not ready to do so, because Indian government was of Britishers. As a result, Indians in America, Indians in Canada got unrest. This unrest was utilized properly and encouraged Indians for freedom struggle at that time by a great person named as Lala Hardayal. He started a movement that is called as Gadar movement. It's vast idea. What was the idea of freedom fighter Savarkar at that time? When World War will begin, we had to get revolt from inside India, and from outside we had to attack from outside also. And we had to finish British government over India, British rule over India. And this was again taking shape practically. With help of this Gadar movement, the secret messages were there from Canada, from USA to Punjab territory via Gurudwara and all that. And terrific plan was set up. Whereas German Emperor sent a warship to India named as Amden. You search on net, the spelling starts with E, but many times we pronounce as Amden. So in local language we are writing spelling with A. So both spelling you can check out. That Amden was having two prominent roles. It was sent to India for two prominent roles. The first, we had to go to Andaman and release these armed revolutionists from the jail of Andaman. Second, to supply of weapon to armed revolutionists in Punjab. Unfortunate that Britishers were able to destroy his ship near Chennai, at that time Madras. So they were able to sink that ship at that place only. Otherwise, history something different. But we are aware that in history we can't use word as if and all that. But it is sure that German helped Indian at that time. We are having a curse of betrayal. Britishers got news. What was the unrest in Punjab and what is going on in Punjab, particularly with this help of betrayed people. Somebody betrayed. Many people in Punjab were arrested, those who were ready for that. Out of that, many people were punished. The incident is called as Lahore conspiracy. In that, 5,000 people were punished. Minimum punishment 2 years lifetime, 2 years, 2 years of jail, minimum punishment, maximum death penalty. Death penalty was given to Kartar Singh Saraba and Vishnu Ganesh Pingde. By the name you can recognize it was there in Punjab. Name it is Lahore Conspiracy. Vishnu Ganesh Pingle is person from Pune. He was engineer. 23 years. English language is wrong actually, but we have to say 23 years old person from Pune. Technically, he was engineer. He planned variety of things for the work, and so he was also arrested and death penalty was given. There is connection of Pune again. Try to recollect Vasudev Balwant Phadke from Pune only. Then this way. Now Chapekar brothers from Pune only. Now this person Vishnu Ganesh Pingle from Pune only. There was some connection, but they didn't mention. Anyhow, but this plan of Gadar movement was having failure. However, it was guided in various ways from the jail of Andaman. But how, we don't know. This way, we discuss about Abhinav Bharat, work of Swatantraveer Savarkar, Gadar movement, Lahore Conspiracy. However, by this time, it was around period of 1916. We are going back again. Because I discuss here with particular to armed revolutionists and Abhinav Bharat only. What was the political situation in India at that time? So at 1885, Indian National Congress was established, that is called as Rashtriya Sabha at that time. For first 20 years, it was also passively working, not that actively working. We can say this is as moderate period. But from 1905, another movement started that is called as extremist movement in Congress, particularly led by the great freedom fighter Lokmanya Tilak. So this is change in the Congress, or rather I should say the policies of Congress, because the president at that time, that was Dada Bhai Nauroji, he advised people to be extremist. He advised the delegates that you have to carry out movement and non-stop movement until you are successing your goal. Now this is the great change in the approach of Congress. As a result, Britishers also started some tremendous imperialistic approaches. For example, Viceroy of India. Actually, I have mentioned some other videos are there. You can check out in our playlist that conquest of India by Britishers, then history of this particularly British rule with respect to various governor generals and viceroys. Say prior to 1858, the person was called as Governor General in East India Company. But when British rule started, it was called as Viceroy. In Portugal or Portuguese rule, sometime they were appointing a Viceroy. It is called as Viceroy. So Viceroy, and sometime they are appointing Governor General. So anyway, here we are considering the Viceroy 1858 onwards. So these Viceroys were having their own approaches. Now Lord Curzon was Viceroy of India. He was having imperialistic approach. He decided to make partition of Bengal territory. In the school days, we were not able to realize the severeness of this incident. But the Bengal territory, that was only one province in India. It is not entire India's partition. It was only one territory's partition. It is internal partition. Keep in mind, today also in India, states are divided. Just wanted to check. Andhra Pradesh was huge state. It was split up into Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So now if you are looking at a map of political state-wise map of India, you will get Andhra Pradesh and Telangana as separate state. Same way, in our childhood, there was only state named as Uttar Pradesh. But then onwards, Uttaranchal, later remained as Uttarakhand, that was separated from Uttar Pradesh. Bihar split up into Bihar and Jharkhand. Madhya Pradesh split up into Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So like that, various new states were formed in India. It is constitutional where it is given in constitution that states can be formed. Even Punjab also split out into Punjab, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. So like that, various things happened after freedom also. But during British rule, they decided to split up Bengal. But at that time, intentions were not that good. They decided to split up East Bengal and West Bengal. Now, today, the states are different. At that time, Bengal territory, Bengal province actually, was vast province. Today's Odisha, at that time it was called as Orissa. So today's Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, entire West Bengal, Bangladesh, like that, territories were included in Bengal. They split up Bengal into East Bengal and West Bengal in such a way that East Bengal is having maximum number of Muslims. West Bengal should have minimum number of Muslims. Therefore, East Bengal will rule according to Muslim people, West Bengal will rule according to Hindu people, and dispute may rise between Hindus and Muslims. That was clear-cut idea of Curzon, or Britishers rather. So this is simple divide and rule policy. Whereas, what was from Indian side, that in East Bengal obviously Muslims were more, West Bengal Hindus were more, so conflict will arise, one reason. Second, in both the Bengal, that means East Bengal as well as West Bengal, Bengali speaker Hindus were in minority. So in East Bengal also Bengali speaker Hindus were in minority, and West Bengal also Bengali speaker Hindus in minority. And so it was attacked on Bengali culture. Like that, various options, what we can say, opinions were there. However, Indian National Congress decided to protest actively against this. The movement that is called as Vanga Bhanga Andolan. Vanga, that is ancient name of Bengal. Bhanga, that is to break out. To prevent that, we are carrying out movement that is Andolan. So, all over India, this movement spread out. This is the first time pan-India level movement was there. The movement was so harsh that Lord Curzon was asked by British Parliament that why you are going to do so. And then, prior to actually enforcement of partition of Bengal, Lord Curzon was removed from the post. And after a few years, they withdraw the partition. The partition was taken back. So this is the outcome of, we can say, extremist movement. Movement was led obviously by Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai. Togetherly we call them as Lal, Bal and Pal. So they led this movement, and to very great extent, almost pan-India level, the movement was there. So, and success is also observed. But now Britishers decided to split this movement also. And for that purpose, they played their role. First, there was split in Congress. Surat session of Congress, moderates were encouraged by Britishers, and there was split of moderate and extremist. So first they split out Congress. Second, there was establishment of Muslim League. So the Muslim reformer, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, founder of Aligarh University. But in latter phase, with encouragement of Britishers, a party was established that is called as Muslim League. Congress was again and again telling that Congress is pan-India organization, irrespective of religion. It's secular. But Muslims wanted that our own representation, our own organization, and this way Muslim League was established. Not only that, they demanded Britishers that we want separate electorate because Hindus are not recognizing us as a leader. And therefore, in parliament we are not, because we are in minority, we are not getting that representation. And so we want separate electorate. And this way, in 1909, reforms were there from Britishers. 1909. That is called as Morley-Minto reforms. In this Morley-Minto reforms, they given us separate electorate. Even in the Viceroy's Council, Indians were taken by election method, and a right was given to Indians that you can ask your questions in parliament. But veto power was kept. Veto power means what? It is not mandatory that British government will answer. But veto power is there in hands of Britishers. But however, we got rights to ask questions. So fantastic thing. This is neither we can call as freedom nor foundation of freedom. We can say just beginning or recognition of Indian power to little bit extent. All this happened, that is because of armed revolutionists, the work carried out by them. Now, another thing. Now from Andaman jail, Savarkar started asking, after giving this type of thing, the thing was that if Britishers are going to listen, then we should have dialogue. Say why we are not criminals. We are there for nation. And in that case we were arrested. So anyhow, but the situation was there because of that split was there in Indians. First Congress was split up, then second part Muslim League was established. Now obvious thing is that counter-attack was also there and Hindu Mahasabha was established. And this way in India, three dominant parties were developed. One obviously Congress secular party, Muslim League. To counter it, it was Hindu Mahasabha. Surprisingly, member of Muslim League was member of Congress. Member of Hindu Mahasabha was also member of Congress. So they were having their own representation. For example, Lala Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat Rai was there on the first establishment of Hindu Mahasabha. But he was from Congress only. Barrister Jinnah was representing Congress as well as Muslim League. So like that things were there in the initial stages of the establishment. However, the situation in India started changing out, particularly during World War. That World War First, Indians were now change out their attitude. Britishers, change out their attitude towards India. Particularly, lot of help was carried out by Indians to the British government, or rather I should say in the World War First. As a result, after end of war, Britishers decided to give something to India. That is called as Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. You are aware in Morley-Minto reform, Indians were allowed to ask questions. But in Montagu-Chelmsford reform, Indians were allowed to become ministers. So, sort of dominion status, self-government. The foundation of this dominion status or self-government began here. Practically in Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, Britishers admitted that what Lokmanya Tilak was saying, that Swaraj is my birthright and I am going to obtain it. Here, Britishers were saying that Swaraj is your birthright and we are bound to give it to you. But how? Stepwise, not directly. So first step they are given in form of Montagu-Chelmsford reform. We'll check 10 years and after 10 years we'll give another reform. So like that, on like installment we are paying, like that we are getting Swarajya by step or on installment. Like that some concept was there that is called as Montagu-Chelmsford reform. All this work, Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, Morley-Minto reforms and all this, it is outcome of pan-India level. Because Lokmanya Tilak started a movement that is called as Home Rule League, inspired by Irish lady named as Dr. Annie Besant. She was from Ireland. She came to Madras province in India, at that time Madras province, and she started Home Rule League movement. So same movement was carried out by Lokmanya Tilak. Lokmanya Tilak was imprisoned for 6 years, from 1908 to 1914. After that, he was again free and he started unification. Exactly reverse way the Britishers worked. So first there was union in Congress. That extremist and moderate party united together. Congress became intact. Then he went with Muslim League. A pact was signed between Muslim League and Congress that is called as Lucknow Pact. In that, both parties agreed that we had to work togetherly for freedom of India. Whereas for that purpose, Congress should accept the separate electorate for Muslims. Actually, Congress was in oppose of these separate electorates. But in order that there should be unification, Lokmanya Tilak accepted that there should be unification, then there should be separate electorate for Muslims at that time. However, he put a clause. Lokmanya Tilak was a mathematician, a great mathematician. He put a clause that no doubt we are going to accept. However, the number of Muslim representatives should not be greater than 1/3 of total member. But they accepted. Now the thing is that because of this thing, there was union between Muslims and Hindus. Home Rule League was pressurizing government, and then we decided, British government decided to give freedom to India, but stepwise. So as a first step, they given us something. Lokmanya Tilak was very angry by hearing that. He was saying this is neither Swaraj nor its foundation. Even municipal corporations were having more rights than this. So like that, his answer. But his ideology was that whatever we are getting, we have to accept and work for other thing. By that time, it is now 1919. So I am ending out this topic here. We'll continue this topic next time. Thanks.